Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Started From The Bottom. Last time out, I was furious. Everything seemed to be going wrong. We couldn't score goals. We couldn't keep clean sheets. So I've made a change. We've got a new goalkeeper. Let's get into things. So last time out, you would have seen us draw 1-1 away at Scunthorpe. That was kind of the final straw for me. I really needed to make a change. I needed a new goalkeeper. So after this game, we made the change. Towards the end of the last episode, you would have seen us looking at Alex Smithies, who was unattached, having spent his entire career pretty much in the Championship. So I am delighted to announce that our new goalkeeper is Alex Smithies. So he's come in on a full-time contract. He's listed as a backup on a £1,700 a week contract. In terms of his technical goalkeeping attributes, he's probably not as good as the German guy, but what I will say is he's definitely quicker. He's an experienced goalkeeper, knows the league really well. As I said, has played most of his career either in the Championship or in the Premier League. I'm not sure if any of that spell in Cardiff was Premier League, probably would have been. Well, let's have a look. Career stats. Yeah, so he's had a lot of time in League One, and then majority Championship. Season in the Prem with Cardiff, by the looks of things, looks like he didn't play. I think he would have been behind Neil Etheridge in real life. And then a couple more seasons with Cardiff in the Championship. So he's a good goalkeeper. I'm kind of lucky to have him, to be perfectly honest. And the fact that he came in on a free, I'm really, really happy with this business. 6'2", just over 13 stone. He's currently made 8 appearances for us in all competitions, conceding 4 goals, but keeping 4 clean sheets as well, which if you compare him to Martin Manel, he's only kept 3 clean sheets in 19 appearances. So I'm not necessarily saying it's all down to the goalkeeper, but I'd like to think that Smithies has definitely been getting himself in better situations and forcing more saves and that sort of thing. I think he's really, really improved us in that position. Is he Maddison? No, he's not as good as Maddison. But for now, I think he is our number one by quite a long stretch. So jumping into the schedule then, after the 1-1 draw with Scunthorpe, we then played Coventry at home. And we lost. I don't think Smithers wasn't in for this game. Let's take a quicker look at the stats to remind ourselves. 4 shots, 4 on target for Coventry. No clear-cut chances for them. We created 2 clear-cut, didn't score. We had 17 shots and 5 on target. As you can see from the stats here, their goalkeeper's on a 7, which if any of you play Football Manager yourselves, you know that a 7 for a goalkeeper's basically a 10 out of 10. Then obviously we have 7s for the 2 centre-backs, a 7.6 for their centre defensive midfielder, and a 7.7 for their left-back. I think that kind of shows the sort of flow of the game, really. However, after we lost to Coventry, Smithers was in, and then we put together a relatively decent run So we won in the FA Cup first round. We beat Luton 1-0. As I said, Smithies' first game here kept a clean sheet against Luton, so I was really pleased with that. After that game, we absolutely annihilated Southend 7-0 in the Leasing.com trophy. I think that this one particularly was just down to the fact that their goalkeeper was dreadful. And I've seen some pretty poor goalkeeping this season. Everyone doing pretty well. I think the lowest rating out there is Smithers with a 7.4. So after that, we sort of got on a little bit of a roll in the league, beating Shrewsbury and beating Crawley, before crashing out of the FA Cup at the second round stage, losing to MK Dons at home. Andy White was sent off in the 42nd minute and we conceded in the 70th. I think on the balance of play, we were maybe the slightly better side, but we just really struggled to break down this formation with the 3 centre-backs, the defensive midfielder of Forshaw, and then the 4 midfielders across in front of that. It was pretty difficult to break down. The formation wasn't necessarily working as well as I would have liked. A couple of decent chances, no clear cuts for either side though. 13 shots on target, again a 7.5 for the opposition goalkeeper, so doing pretty well there. After we lost in the FA Cup, that's the only loss that we've had after putting a decent run together with wins against Wimbledon and Wickham before a 1-1 draw last time out against Hull. So a little update on the league table. We are currently in 8th, but obviously we are sort of working our way back into playoff contention. However, the difference between ourselves and Preston North End is 13 points. They are top of the league. They are flying, to be fair, and that is who we are playing today. So we have our game against Preston. We are away against top of the league, so it should be an interesting one. As you can see here, they've got 3 players out injured. We've got a couple people out as well. Miliateri is out with a broken toe. Jay McDonald's got a hip injury, and Ollie Young is also injured. So we jump into the team selection. This is what I'm going for today's game. So Smithies is in goal. Clark is back from injury. Denham is playing alongside Menji, who is now back from his broken leg. He's still lacking match fitness, but I think he's probably the best centre-back we have at the club, so I'm going to persevere with him, hopefully get him fitter. We have DeMarco, who we signed from Inter Milan, at left-back. Finkler, Dreher and Johnny Smith is back in the team with Ollie Young with that injury. Wellens and Santana at central attacking midfield. And we have the man White on loan from Arsenal up front. Okay, so interesting 4-5-1 formation from Preston North End here. Interesting to see Jonathan Lecco up front for them. Pretty good striker. I mean, he has only scored once so far this season, but majority of his appearances, he's only made 9 appearances, but 7 of those have come from the substitutes bench. Wonder where all their goals are coming from in this team then. Martins, by the looks of things. He's got 4, it's not too bad. And then Potts on the other side has got 12. Okay, so Brad Potts is where the goals are coming from by the looks of things. Valued at 3.8 million there. Looks like he's been pretty good so far this season, so it'll be interesting to see how Smith and DeMarco handle him down that left-hand side for us. Okay, so here we are then, away at Preston, top of the league. Actually, thinking about it, I may just go... Oof, interesting effort from Preston there. It looked like Smithers had it covered. Because I am away against top of the league, I don't necessarily think I'm going to have all of the ball. As a rule, I would normally just persevere and just try and dominate the game as much as humanly possible. However, we are away, so I'm showing them the respect that they deserve. They've scored 39 goals this season for a reason, but they have conceded 26, so they aren't necessarily the most the best team. Oh no, that's their goal difference. Their goal difference is plus 26. Interesting, so they must be doing pretty well. 30 minutes gone in this game. We've just had that one highlight for Preston with the header going wide from the set piece. Ball in from the throw into Wellens. Finkler is able to run but gets caught out by Fabio Martins. As Martins advances out to the danger man Potts there, and who looks like he's got Smith tracking him. Smith's robbed him of the ball, and he's got the pace to really hurt teams. He's got 2 Preston men chasing after him. Can he put a decent cross in? He can, but Rudd comes off his line to win the ball. Highlight's not over though. Clearance is won by the Bath City defender, but the ball works its way back into Martins, but he just hammers it over the bar. We dropped down to 9th. I'm not too disappointed. Obviously, we are playing top of the league. Preston will take points off of a majority of teams this season, you'd like to think. Things are going okay. I mean, we've had 7 shots and 3 on target, but not really been shown any of those so far. I'm actually happy. Yeah, I think we do appreciate their efforts. Everyone seems to be happy with that. We are playing quite well. I am going to keep it on cautious for now. As we have a opportunity straight away. Clark with a throw in, but Rudd comes out off his line again to claim the ball. And no shots on target as of yet for Preston North End. But usually when I make a comment or an observation like that, He usually gets stung pretty much instantly. Goalkeeper throws it out. Finkler is able to pick it up though, advances down the wing, gets into the penalty area, gets past the winger. Is that not gone in? It's not gone in. Okay. Interesting. Looks like we're doing okay. White seems to be struggling up front, so a TT might have to come on soon. We have a free kick on the edge of the penalty area here. I've seen Finkler score these, but it's White taking this one. Goes direct and he puts it straight in. Funny how I was just saying that he seemed to be struggling a little bit. But obviously not anymore. Lovely direct free kick here from White. I think he's got 15 free kick taken over the wall and into the corner of the goal, giving us the lead at Preston. Moves us back up into playoff contention. Free kick of their own, and Fabio Martins has basically gone straight down the other end and done the exact same thing. It is their first shot on target. It's a little bit frustrating, but what can you do? This is a really, really nice free kick. Smithies almost gets there. Looks like it clips the post on its way through. Both goal scorers have scored free kicks. They're both at 8.3s. Love that. So Leko's just gone off, I've just noticed. I'm going to make a change or two of my own. Finkler, how are you doing ratings-wise? 6.6, right. Connor Stanley's coming on. We'll see how he gets on. And I'm also going to bring on Daniel Ray instead of Santana. I'm going to leave White up front for this game. Having scored the free kick, he seems to be playing a little bit better. We'll still stay on the cautious mentality though. Final 10 minutes of the game. Doing okay again, as I said. I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed that we have conceded our only shot on target, but at least it's a bit of skill that's beaten us. It's a really good free kick that has done it. Clark throws it in there. Rudd has just come off his line all the time and has just claimed pretty much everything so far. He's done pretty well, the goalkeeper. I'm putting some pressure on him there. Short throw. Back to the goalkeeper. Highlights not over yet. 4 minutes of normal time remaining. Martins back to Lello. Stole by Stanley. White's through here. One-on-one. Can he do it? Oh, Bauer gets across and gets a nice block in there as the end of the highlight. Looks like we're going all the way to injury time. 5 minutes added on. Nothing going in these 5 minutes by the looks of things. And that is full time. Okay, this is better. I feel like I'm in a better mindset. So, whilst, as I said, we have conceded our only shot on target, it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see how we've got on against the team that are top of the division. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. So I'm going to say everyone thought we were written off today. Well done. Everyone seems delighted. We like to keep morale relatively high. And what does that do for the table? Nothing really. Obviously, we're still in touching distance of the playoffs. Would have been really nice to get a result against Preston, but it wasn't to be today. Let's have a quick look at the schedule and see if I can bring you another game super quick. Yeah, we got Rochdale on Boxing Day. Let's advance until that game, and we will see you at the team selection for that game against Rochdale. Okay, so we are almost set to take on Rochdale on Boxing Day, but one thing I do want to point out is the absolute farce that is my schedule in the week after. So we play Rochdale here, and then the following week we have Preston North End at home on the Tuesday, Chelsea's under-23s at home on the Thursday in the leasing.com, followed by Fleetwood Town at home in the league. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I mean, who schedules these, man? Come on, it's ridiculous. Whilst I was advancing through the days, we did have a couple of injuries. Dreher has picked up an injury. I will say Calvin has just gone out on loan as well. So the team for today, for this game against Rochdale at home, is Smithies, Clark, Denham and Kemper. Obviously, I don't want to push Menji too much, so he is part of the reserves. He will not make this because he's currently down to 82% conditioning. DeMarco is at left back. Finkler is on the right. Ray comes in to replace the injured Luke Dreher, and Ollie Young comes back in on the left-hand side. Wellens and Santana in the attacking midfield spots, and then White up front again. So we will submit the team. I'd like to think this is a game that we should be winning. It's funny, when I was watching, when I was editing the last video, it was really funny watching my reaction and seeing how frustrated I got. I will say, let's take a quick look at the team a sec. Oh, couple of new gens in here. Let's take a look at some of these then. McFadden doesn't look too bad, not too great. Trequartista, Millington, he's okay. Scout's not overly too fond of him. Is wanted by Alfreton on loan, so not overly worried. This centre midfielder here again 52 scouting rating, so not too much to worry about. Same again with the centre back. However, what I am actually worried about is former Bristol City goalkeeper Jojo Wallacott in goal. He's currently on loan from Bristol City, so that makes sense. Decent goalkeeper actually, especially at this level. Will be interesting to see how we get on against him. But yeah, what I was saying is I find it very interesting to see my reaction in the last episode, because whilst we are only predicted to fight against relegation, I still want to get promoted. I want to be in the Championship. I want that opportunity to play in bigger stadiums. I want that opportunity to face bigger teams. So because we are at home in this game, I'm going to leave it on attacking, although we've not really started off with a great deal of possession, which when you're attacking and you've not got the possession is a little bit sub-ideal. Anyway, we move on. We've not had any real highlights yet. We're fighting our way back in the possession stakes. Another shot, evidently off target, not worth showing. Camp swings the ball in, and Smithers makes a save, and we're able to clear with White. He's got options if he looks at them. There's Santana, bursts down the left into the penalty area, goes past his man, and that is a dreadful shot. Another free kick coming in then from Camp. So he's taking it short to Mulvey, who's just turned and he's trying to back him in. Wellens tackles him and releases the long ball, but there's no centre forward there. Don't know where White was in that instance. Ray picks up the ball, then goes past his man, ball over the top. We're looking for that ball over the top a lot towards White. He is usually, as a rule, pretty good one-on-one. But a ball over the top sends in McFadden, and Henry McFadden slots their first shot on target. I'd like to think Smithers will do better there. Finkler with an awful header, but he is quite small. The one pass looks like Boy Kemper's the one missing. So you'd like to think Smithies will do better there, but we've been undone by a new gen here with 7 finishing. For his second goal this season. Okay. Highlighted him before the game, said I didn't think he was that much of a threat, so absolutely buzzing with that. Looks like Rochdale are going to shut up shop a little bit. Finkler there, just awful effort at a challenge. Wellens really seems like he's up for this as he advances into the penalty area. I'd love him to square it, but he obviously doesn't. Takes a shot, and it is an easy save for Wallacott in the Rochdale goal. Highlights not over as Young floats in the corner, easily cleared, but to Santana. You'd like to think he'd go, back to Young on the wing, kicks it straight at the defender, and the highlight is over, and Rochdale are able to clear. I do find it really interesting how Football Manager seems to completely chop and change. You know, like we go on a massive run of form, and then we fall off a cliff and can't do anything. It's really weird how that's happened this season. Like we've put a couple of decent runs together. Like we're looking at, we were top of the league for one point, and then we dropped all the way down to 10th, and then we put in a decent run to sort of fight our way back in. And now we are back in 10th. It's just funny how those things go for me. Mulvey with an interesting touch and turn there. Out to this right-hand side. We're putting loads of pressure on them as White's in here. drags his shot with his weaker left foot wide. That's disappointing. These are the sorts of ones we need to really be putting in the back of the net. Had a good number of touches in the penalty area. It's just said there. Disappointing. You are correct, sir. Where's the passion? Come on, boys. We were on such a really good run of form until I went to record this episode. I'll take the draw against top of the table, even though they only had one shot on target. I'll be a little bit more annoyed if we lose at home to a team that have only had one shot on target. Another delivery from Camps here. And it's another goal, and it's another new gen. That's the second shot on target. I genuinely, I'm perplexed at how things have just changed here. He's come from behind two players there to just tap in an easy goal. I'm just so frustrated with this team. It's just really lacking the consistency at the moment. Ball in to Santana, who absolutely rifles one into the side net in there. Really, really good strike across the goalkeeper. Pulls it back to 2-1. This is what I want to see as well. The passion of the player actually going and getting the ball. He's gone and got the ball because we are 2-0 down at home until he slots. So it makes it 2-1 and he runs straight behind Woolacott, gets the ball, brings it straight back to the halfway line. I hope the boys really mean business now. Long throws cleared, but to Santana, into Ray. Nice ball out to Denham, into White. He's hit the crossbar. How's he done that? Seemed easier to score than to hit the crossbar, but never mind. The attack continues. Clark with the throw. Is cleared. And it's found their one and only outlet in Mulvey as well. Hold the ball up, but he goes past the defender. Good strike, good save by Smithies. This is a bit better. A little bit better, playing with a little bit more tempo. I'm doing things a little bit better. There's still an hour to go. We have had a decent amount of chances. Smithies comes and claims there. That's much better from my goalkeeper. 65 gone, and I think I'm going to make a small change. I'm going to drop Ray, and I'm going to put White up in centre midfield, and Atiti's going to come on to lead the line. A little bit of a different striker, a little bit more of a different option. Hopefully White can get on the ball a little bit more in the midfield. We are still set as very attacking. I'd like to see us at least have one or two more highlights before the end of the game, but seems like the time is just evaporating from us at the moment. The get creative shout comes in, it's still nothing. Nothing's happened since the 65th minute. 20 odd minutes of in-game time gone into injury time. Still nothing. 93rd minute. Throw in Denham. Cleared only to Wellins. He's forced to go all the way back to Young. Looks for the ball. Clark gets dispossessed by Camps, who's been absolutely phenomenal this game. With his delivery and everything, it's just caused us no end of trouble. Camps into Rathbone, edge of the area, and the guy strikes and it just goes miles over the goal. But they are still getting chances. I'm really disappointed that the game's gone like 20, 30 in-game minutes. And there's been one highlight for Rochdale when we are set as very attacking. We're trying to get back into the playoffs here, boys, and we're just being undone at home. It's really disappointing. Camps looks for Rathbone, strikes it straight at Smithers. I mean, we're in injury time. Alex, move, Smithies. Come on, boy, let's go. Rolls it to Denham. I mean, it goes back to Smithies. We're on very attacking, boys. Get the ball forward, for God's sake. Here's Santana, who's dropped so deep to pick up the ball. Gone out to Finkler. Goes past the fullback. Advances into the penalty area and gets tackled. Done. You'd like to think that that's going to be full time, and it is. Why is this such a common theme that we're conceding so many shots on target and our opposition defenders and goalkeepers are having such a field day against us? Henry McFadden scored his second goal of the season and we're at Christmas and it has to be against us, doesn't it? That is disappointing. Really deflated again. It's a team in 17th at home, do you know what I mean? And we've got this week of hell where we've got 3 games in a week. That's put a little bit more distance between ourselves and the chasing pack in the playoffs. I mean, we are just over the halfway point in the season, so there is still time to turn this around. Let's expand this fully so we can see full goals scored and against and stuff like that. So we've scored 34 goals, but as you can see, we've conceded 27. Oh no, hold on. That was Bristol Rovers. We scored 37 and we conceded 24. So, you know, we've got the plus 13 goal difference, which isn't too bad. It's better than some of the teams that are above us and some of the teams in the playoffs. And one of the teams in the playoffs in Doncaster. There's still time to turn this around. Obviously, we're going into the January window. I may have to look at some loan options, perhaps. I'm not really sure what else we can do. There are some big teams in this division. I'm looking at like Preston, Coventry, Wigan, Charlton, Hull. Hull, by the way, I will point out, some of the players that Hull have got are ridiculous. This lad on loan from Aston Villa looks like a really, really good player. He's played pretty well for them so far this season, averaging just under a 7 in the league. But they've also got Tahith Chong in League One. I mean, he's not even been that great for them. I mean, he's got over a 7 average in the league in 18 appearances, which isn't too bad. Averaging over a 7 in all competitions as well. But so our unbeaten run is over after 5 games. We lost to Rochdale. We've got some good results in there, drawing with Hull and Preston, you know, teams that we are in and around. But it's going to be a long old slog for the rest of the season, I must admit. So looking at the rest of the season, I think I'm going to play a couple of games and then I'll bring you Bristol Rovers at home. Bit of a local derby, Bath versus Bristol Rovers. It's going to be interesting to see how we get on. Obviously, we've got Preston in the league, leasing.com action against Chelsea. If I just have a quick look at this draw. So we've got our senior affiliate club, Arsenal. We've got Chelsea, Tottenham, Leicester and Southampton's 23s all still in the competition. And ourselves, we are the highest rated league team still in here with Oxford and Plymouth in the trophy still so far. Lot to digest, busy week ahead coming up. I will bring you guys the game against Bristol Rovers and we'll see how we are getting on in the league, if we can continue this little bit of resurgence and try and fight our way into the playoffs. But until next time, guys, I will see you soon.